Assalamu alaikum and a very good morning to all of you. How are you all? I hope you all will be doing fabulous. You all will be taking good care of yourselves, your studies, and your health as well. Dear students, welcome to the online class. Kindly all of you open your novel books today as we have to start our novel today. You have to open The Adventures of Don Quixote. As we have already read its first chapter, that is Don Quixote sets out in search of adventure. So today we have to read chapter second, that is Don Quixote is made a knight. So let us start. In this chapter, Don Quixote was feeling really happy as he went riding through the countryside. But suddenly a dreadful thought struck him. Here he was dressed like a knight, feeling like a knight, riding out like a knight, but no one had yet made him a knight. So he thought, how could he fight with other knights when he himself had not received the honor of knighthood? This thought worried him so much he felt like going home and giving up his search for adventure. Then a comforting thought came into his mind. He remembered that in some of his stories, men had been knighted by people they had chanced to meet on the road. He rode on, and all that day he hot sun beat fiercely down on his heavy armor. Then sun began to set. It was growing dark when he saw a faint light shining in the distance. He thought it was the enchanted castle where a beautiful princess was waiting for him to rescue her from a wicked enchanter. In rising excitement, he suppered on Rosinante, although the horse was ready to drop from weariness. Here was a castle, enchanted and mysterious. What strange secrets did it hold? He thought. Don Quixote rode up to the courtyard of that castle. There he stopped and waited for the dwarf to appear on the top of the tower and blow the trumpet, which would tell the governor of the castle that a guest had arrived. That always happened in the stories that he had read. But to his wonder, it was not a castle, it was an ordinary wayside inn. And there were two servant girls standing by the door of the inn. They looked quite frightened when they saw the strange looking gentleman in old fashioned armor. Don Quixote said to them gently that don't be afraid, for I am a knight and would harm no one, least of all two such noble ladies as you are. The girls stared at him in amazement and then burst into loud laughter. At that moment, innkeeper came out. The innkeeper helped Don Quixote to get out of his horse, for the knight was too stiff to dismount by himself. The two servant girls helped Don Quixote to take off his armor, but when they tried to take off his helmet, they found that they would have to cut the green ribbons that tied it on. But Don Quixote would not allow them to do that. He said, I shall eat my supper as best I can with my helmet on. Don Quixote quite enjoyed his supper, but when it was over, his old anxiety came back to him. He had to find someone to knight him. Why not the governor of the castle? He thought. And so he called the innkeeper to the stable, where they were quite alone. Then he threw himself to the floor at innkeeper's feet, saying, I will never rise from this place until you grant me the honor of knighthood. The innkeeper was astonished at this request. He himself was feeling very tired after his day's work and very much wanted to go to the bed. So he readily promised that he would do what the knight wished. But he thought, it is so late. He said, let us go to bed, and did the kind and but the but the knight said, I will not go to bed tonight. Don Quixote said, I shall do as every true knight does before he receives his knighthood. I shall stay up all the night and watch by my armor. Don Quixote asked for a chapel, but the innkeeper told him that there was no chapel, and he said that he can keep his vigil in the courtyard. The innkeeper went off to his bed, and the Don Quixote began his vigil. He laid his armor carefully in front of the trough where the horses came to drink. Up and down he paced all through the night. At dawn, a carter who was lodging at the inn came to the trough to get a bucket of water for his mule. He started to move the knight's armor out of his way, but Don Quixote shouted, "Do not dare to touch the armor of the bravest knight that ever wore a sword." The carter took no notice of his word but went on pushing the armor on his way out. This made Don Quixote very angry, and he rushed at the man and hit him over the head with his spear. Soon another carter came out to get a bucket of water for his mule. This time Don Quixote did not warn the man, but hit him with his spear without saying a word. The man shouted so loudly that people came running out of the inn to see what was the matter. By this time the innkeeper had had enough. He did not like trouble in his inn, and he felt that sooner the night left, the better it is. He therefore, he therefore told Don Quixote that he had kept his vigil long enough and had earned his knighthood. He ordered him to kneel before him, mumble some words as if they were prayers, and gave Don Quixote a gentle slap on the back with the flat part of his sword. Then one of the servant girls fastened the sword round his waist. And so Don Quixote became a true knight at last. So, dear students, this was the story of Don Quixote, and in this story the writer has told that how he became a true knight. Okay, so what you have to do, you have to read this chapter twice so that you may better understand this chapter. You have to learn the difficult